In my desperate struggle that is the hope that I can come up with a video idea for the next upload, I've been taking a trip down memory lane and came up with an interesting thought. Is Blizzard getting scared? I mean, it sure seems like it. Just think back to how they used to handle the game. They had this massive Sombra ARG that at the end everybody got kinda tired of. It was obvious that this whole project overstayed its welcome, and ever since that failed, they've been really reluctant to tease any sort of content at all. I mean, Doomfist was a case that kinda forced their hand given how much hype surrounded the idea of that character thanks to Terios. It was only natural that this would be the next hero. And if it wasn't, the hero that they did launch instead will likely be underappreciated or even get an unjustified amount of hate, whatever that one would be. But the teasing that surrounded Orisa was absolutely minimal. Moira pretty much came out of nowhere, and they are still extremely tight-lipped about any potential upcoming new heroes. And naturally, same goes for new events and maps as well, though granted, those have never been teased in a big way before either. But still, we're not done here yet. Think back to Season 2 and the cluster of problems that came with an MMR reset that was more harsh than they intended. The ladder was in shambles for a long time before everyone established a reasonable base MMR again. And now we sit here going from Season 7 to Season 8 and always sees a change for everyone upwards of Diamond. No hero balance changes, no ladder-wide system changes, nothing. This wait-and-see approach has most certainly been getting on a lot of people's nerves. Speaking of hero balance anyway, remember how long it took them to fix Bastion when he was completely overtuned? A couple weeks at best. They took care of the problem very swiftly, so what's the difference now with Mercy, a hero that arguably causes way more trouble? Is it again because they are scared? After all, Mercy's one of, if not the most popular hero in the game. Is it that small detail that stops them from pushing changes onto the PTR to get feedback, or do they genuinely not know how to handle it? Of course, all of this might as well be coincidence, but it sure feels like every mistake they made has caused them to get too cautious for their own good. They don't dare to remove performance SR ladder-wide because they don't have enough data to make a realistic assumption on how that is going to affect the game. So now they let the guys up in Diamond and above brawl it out to gather some data and likely use that info to make a decision as to whether or not it makes sense to push this change out for everyone playing competitively. And the question stays, is that level of caution entirely necessary? I couldn't tell you. In fact, the least of us could. We have no insight on their numbers and their reasoning. We go off of anecdotes to determine what we do and don't want. But consumer perspective matters. Is it worth delaying that change to gather more data for something you determine to be safe enough for higher ranks, while the lower rated players quit the game in frustration? Is it worth to try and avoid upsetting Mercy players and put their fun over the balance of the game as a whole? The enjoyment of everyone else? And we're not just talking about ladder play alone. Fans have voiced their frustration over seeing their favorite Ana players pick up Mercy because she's a must pick now in pro play. Confusion over how teamfights play out because they are so messy now that Valkyrie and Rez are so prevalent. Downright boredom while they watch a pro player hold left click to top someone else's bar off when they could be doing something more exciting with all those skills that they've been training. A hero like Mercy to have a must pick status, something that you said you never wanted to be the case, but yet you accepted for so long already just because she's a popular hero? An entry-level character supposed to help players get into Overwatch is getting so much value with so little effort, and you think that's fine for your growing esport? Just to avoid upsetting someone who has a distinct preference for holding left click? I mean, the developer update was almost like an insult, a 7-minute video that gave us nothing of value whatsoever. No news that we didn't know already, and you still don't trust us to understand even the most basic principles of game development, constantly writing us off with, "We're discussing it internally." We know that you messed up before when you changed your ranked system, but rather than letting your fear control you and your decision, take that experience and do it better next time, especially when it's obviously and direly needed. Sure, the ARG might have not been the biggest success, but where's that Blizzard hype that we've learned to love? Aren't you guys famous for exactly that, among other things? We love getting hints and sneak peeks. Don't let the fact that you messed up once stop you from teasing cool things. And especially when it comes to hero balance, I know that the player base is split on a decision. Some would prefer the meta to stay the same so they can finally settle in, but with the way your game has been designed, an ever evolving meta with frequent balance patches makes the game feel much more fresh than anything else. Don't let the fact that a character is popular stop you from tuning them when they are very obviously a problem. I mean, there are only so many cosmetics for Mercy anyway, they won't buy loot boxes forever. Overwatch needs more heroes, and that does not just refer to us. Yes, many of us try our best to contribute to a well-rounded community, but you're the one providing the platform. You have to keep improving the game, so don't be scared to go out and do that. But hey, maybe, just maybe, or actually very likely, I might just be overthinking the whole issue for the sake of a quick clickbait video. You be the judge, I guess. But until then, thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you all next time.